Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 50-50 Take It or Leave It podcast. And in today's episode, finally, Kyle.
We talk about anime.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, we do.
Woo!
Let me give my most sarcastic woo.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm sure you'll
Wow.
like it. You'll be fine.
Woo.
It's fine.
We go into that. We talk about what a weeb is.
Yep.
We also talk about why some of our favorite anime are our favorite anime. We talk about why some things aren't considered anime, like Avatar.
Dumb.
Anyway, that we go over D&D as
Yep.
per usual. All of that and a little bit more, because there's always a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Coming soon. So I guess starting off, I'm not too big of an anime connoisseur. I guess I really
I'm
only watch
so much into anime. So into it.
I'm
can call
so
me
much in
such
anime.
Yes, I
Yes,
love
yes.
the Kung Pao Cha.
That sounds a little
them. Wow,
racist.
that's
a
ooh.
little racist.
We're gonna have to cut that in post, probably.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
ooh,
Bleep it out, maybe.
Bleep it out.
Yeah.
No, but in actual
I have no idea. Anime.
appreciation for the art that is anime. I only really watch two.
Okay.
And that's My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan, which Attack on Titan, having
it's
not
up
watched
there.
a lot of anime, it is my favorite out of the ones I have watched.
That's one to definitely.
It's pretty mainstream.
It's pretty mainstream, but
For
I
a
mean,
reason.
mainstream does not equal bad.
No, that's what I was just saying. It's mainstream for a reason.
There
It's
are
not
some
good.
anime that become mainstream, and then people think it's bad because it became mainstream. But it's whatever. I guess to first start off, Mitch, have you had any prior experience watching any anime in your life?
I'd say right before you answer that, for the folks at home, Kyle is the one who's going to be leading this discussion. He is the deepest, most weeaboo of us all
Yes.
Yes, sir.
on the podcast. All right, please, Mitch.
So you guys want the long list of animes I've watched through my years?
Your
of
very
Yep,
extensive
yeah.
list
Yes,
of
my
every
Your
anime you've
refined
ever seen.
tastes.
Yes.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay.
That doesn't.
That's.
I thought we
it's an
said it
iffy-
counted.
It's
No,
an iffy subject.
It doesn't.
It's an
it
iffy
doesn't.
subject.
I feel like if the art style and a lot of the same messages are the same as regular anime with the protagonist and his entourage and being unbeatable and all
Yep,
this other stuff,
yep.
I feel like it should count. But they're like, it wasn't made in Japan, so it's not an anime, even though it's
Yeah.
basically the same thing. I don't
It's
know
a-
why I went southern now, and now we're just stick with the accent. But
I'd like to call it like a Western animated anime. Like you got shows like if you've ever seen the Boondocks. I can like it has that style
Okay.
of an anime.
how
but
are
it
you
was,
gonna borrow a French fry?
and it's essentially animated in the way of like an anime, but
Mhm.
it's not an anime. It's just it takes inspiration from it.
I guess. Okay. So then.
it kind of
I mean, but there's still
There's
have
some-
a lot of like the
there's some-
same cultures.
yeah. There's some
So
stuff in there that's
then I
actually
ask.
kind of
I present the question to the group. Then
They have like
what determines an anime and a non-anime? Is it literally just
literally
the production
being
company?
made in Japan. I think is
I
the
think that would
determining
be-
factor.
Okay, I don't agree with
like
that.
how
So because
sim-
pop is
simplest-
different from K-pop because it's Korean pop.
Korean pop. Yeah,
I think.
okay, but it's not called J anime because it's Japanese anime.
that's true.
It's just anime.
But it could be. I guess it could
But
be
because
considered
it's not
Western
made in
anime.
Japan, it's not anime. I don't agree with that at all.
Let's have our editor look it up. The big
Yeah,
debate
yeah.
is Avatar an anime.
See, so Avatar is not technically an anime because it's not made in Japan.
It is American. It is obviously an American TV cartoon series. The animation is a blend of the Western and Japanese styles, as it does not originate from Japan or exclusively use the Japanese style of animation. It is not considered.
Exclusively use
What
the
is the-
Japanese style of animation.
what's the
What
Japan-
does that even mean?
I suppose
Does
There's a
Pokemon count as an
certain-
anime then?
yes.
What?
Pokemon is an anime, for sure. Yeah.
So Avatar: The
What?
Last Airbender is not. But
Avatar
Pokemon,
the what bender?
Avatar: The Last Airbender, because he's the only one left.
Mhm.
So wait, I asked the question then: is Legends of Korra an anime?
No.
No.
Okay,
Maybe.
It would fall under the same rules. Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't know if it was the same production company that made
honestly though, like you take the word anime, and you break it down. it's just a Japanese word for animation. It's Japanese animation, you know? So I guess you could consider Pokemon not being an anime,
Well,
being more of a cartoon, or you can say that it is more of an anime and not a cartoon, but either way.
Well, I don't understand how Pokemon could be considered an anime and Avatar: The Last Airbender not.
I think with Pokemon,
It's based out of Japan. Is that why?
I'm pretty sure it's that, and also they take a lot of influences from Japan.
So does I would argue so does Avatar.
Avatar takes a lot from Japan, some things from China, some things
Asian
from
culture
a lot
in
of Asian
general.
culture, yeah. But I think it's also just
specifically
that
has to be Japanese culture.
that's what I would maybe assume.
Okay.
What's All Might doing it? No, just kidding.
We can, if we want to break it down even more, we could
I mean-
straight up look up what anime is as a whole.
Anyway, we're getting down a rabbit hole. That's not what this one is about.
Yeah.
We're
This
talking
is
about-
This is supposed to be the organized half of the 50, guys.
Whoops.
So-
I presented a question because
And we went. We
went deep.
It's like you were chumming the anime waters here.
yeah.
Yep.
I guess I've seen technically then 3 animes.
Okay.
Eat.
Let's hear 'em.
You're
I've
like,
seen
well,
3.
Mitch, you've only said 2. This is correct.
So what's the third one?
Dragon Ball Z.
You're missing one.
Yeah,
Oh,
you missed
You
one.
missed
No.
one.
Technically,
We're not-
there should be
Yeah.
4 in there if we're counting.
I've seen 1 episode. Does that count as me
It
watching?
counts.
Yeah, you watched
it.
it.
Counts.
Oh,
The first episode's the most important.
You've tried it.
the freaking Goblin Slayer one?
Yeah.
That one's not too.
That one's so weird.
It's D&D.
It's D&D.
It is D&D,
Just a way
and I
darker.
appreciate that aspect. But what happens 3/4 of the way through the episode?
It's like half.
half.
It's like half.
It's
oh,
It's
it's a controversial show, but I
maybe
mean,
even a quarter in.
it subverts
really?
your expectations.
Oh yeah, I guess the first part. Yeah.
It subverts your expectations.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
It
something.
certainly subverted my
It,
expectations.
and mine as well when I
was
saw
like,
it.
I was like, holy cow, this is gonna be so fun. I love. Oh
No.
no, what's happening? Oh
Oh,
my gosh, he's
God.
already dead. What's happening to the
Yuck.
chair? Oh my gosh.
Big-
No. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's bad, but good,
But bad.
but
But
bad,
bad.
but bad.
But bad.
So I guess I should preface this is I appreciate anime. I just
From afar.
from afar, and I would even go from quite afar,
Quite a ways.
quite a ways.
I give it a wide berth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is
Just
that? Why don't I
just
like
just
anime
because
much?
I've had some family members that watched anime religiously,
Traumatic experiences.
and
Part of his anime protagonist backstory.
Of course.
oh god,
Yeah.
they
Always
they
traumatic.
watched anime and they would run around the house screaming during the intro about how they're in love with just this one character on the show.
Oh my! Yeah, I remember you telling me
Yeah.
the story now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
just like it's just
You don't like that they had a waifu?
Or husbando.
no,
that
not
called?
that. It's just I was like,
Is that
why?
what the male version's
Yeah.
called?
It's waifus and husbandos.
Are you shitting me? right
No,
now?
no, I'm not shitting you. That's what it is. Yeah.
just
Whack.
Okay.
I just didn't. I just didn't appreciate like how crazy they were getting over. I was like, I'm watching this and I don't see the enjoyment. Like
Mm.
you guys are getting more excited than I do if the Bears won the Super Bowl. Like where is this
Hey,
excitement
when
coming
you got
from?
a waifu, Mitch, they just hit different.
They just kind
They
of
hit different.
I I don't get it.
I guess I guess an argument could be thrown out there about, have you ever been super crazy about Pokemon?
I don't.
Oh.
I don't go around screaming about Misty.
That's
Like
true.
I think
No,
she's.
I would. I would.
Well,
I-
okay, we're gonna put a pin in that. What about what about when you like catch a super rare Pokemon, a shiny whatever?
Yeah, and,
Insert whatever
and remember,
shiny.
these are fake creatures.
Oh my gosh!
These aren't.
Yeah, I just got
these aren't
all
real.
the- yeah,
Fair
yeah.
enough. Yeah, I guess. That's fair.
Everyone has a preference.
That's
know?
fair.
Some are tiny little
some
monsters that go in your pocket.
and
some
are
waifus
or
or husbandos.
edgy boys who have traumatic experiences in the past and now have to
Then-
do what they gotta do.
Then I don't mean to open up another rabbit hole here, but why is Pokemon such an accepted thing in America comparatively to the Moon one,
Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon or
Oh, Sailor Moon's popular.
I
You just gotta ask around a little bit.
yeah, but I don't have to do that with Pokemon. I say
Nah,
Pokemon,
well-
and I couldn't even tell you the right name of that show.
Dude, I'm gonna be 100. You said Sailor Moon, and I went what?
Yeah,
So okay,
Yeah, I mean that if that
the
doesn't
fact
prove
that I
you have the
knew
point-
that is kind of impressive.
the '90s.
to be honest.
The '90s were an interesting time. All right, like you can inject whatever you want into like the media, and people would probably
Dude, the '90s were an interesting time.
So like
I only lived in it for 2
didn't-
years,
I wasn't
so
even
I don't
alive.
know.
I just
You just
like,
know,
looking
like-
back on it.
Oh,
like, and this
looking
is
back, yeah, it's
maybe
crazy.
like 98, 99
I
when
wasn't born yet. Lamau. I'm a 2000 baby.
true, same. But
I
I
was
think
born in
it
it. It's a
was.
crazy time.
I think for sure it
Being
was like late 80s into like late 90s when anime started like
Popping off.
creeping in.
Okay, then let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now go
Oh
for it.
yeah,
Transformers, the animation series.
Is that an
that's
anime?
a cartoon.
That's a cartoon.
That's a cartoon?
That is for sure
For
a cartoon.
I didn't
Oh,
even
yeah.
hesitate on that. In my
That's a
mind.
cartoon. That is an American-made cartoon about
It's American
robots.
made? Okay.
It has inspirations from stuff like Gundams or like big fighting robots over there in Japan, and like Power Rangers too used to be like a Japanese show, and then they brought it over to America and called it Power Rangers. There's like a lot, and that all happens in like the 90s, where it's like, look at this cool stuff happening over here in Japan, and we're gonna kind of
We're gonna take it.
we're gonna
Well, that's where
We're gonna-
Pokemon.
we're-
That's
yeah,
when Pokemon surged up. Is
yeah, we're
in
gonna
the 90s.
we're gonna borrow it.
Mid-90s.
We're gonna twist it around a little bit, and we're gonna put it into the Western audiences and see what they like about it. And Pokemon really caught on because that started in Japan, and they were like, let's bring that over here. That's a really popular card game. We could probably make some big bucks off of that,
and they
Oh.
did.
and they did.
Oh, only if they knew.
and they
They did. So that was kind of when a lot of big animes that people kind of talk about now, like Dragon Ball Z, kind of came out too. 'Cause
Yep,
like that.
I missed the train on that one. I'll be
No, it's all
100.
good. I grew up with that show, so like it's
Yep.
just been
a
ingrained
lot
in
of
my
a
head.
lot of people have.
And
I will
people-
say,
yeah.
I tried
wish-
watching it like now.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, he's losing. Time to power up.
and now he wins.
Now he wins.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, he's
yeah.
losing. Oh, time to change
There's
hair
a
color
there's
again.
there's a formula to it. Yeah. And I think
I
that's
actually
just
like
how
Dragon Ball Super. Like, because
people haven't said that Dragon Ball Super sucks. There's been some moments where it's kind of not the greatest, but
I liked it.
from
From the Facebook clips I watched, I didn't sit down and watch through
from
the
the
whole
clips that I saw on Facebook.
The only thing I have taken with a lot of love from Dragon Ball is the Ultra Instinct thing.
Yeah.
You remember that, right? When you're falling
When
off
you're
the,
playing Until Dawn,
the
and
ledges on Until
and
Dawn,
the
I
song.
kept playing the
Oh,
Ultra Instinct
God.
as
Yeah.
you kept falling down.
there are some
yeah, yeah.
there is, especially with Dragon Ball. I think because when I was a kid, that used to be my favorite like anime, and now it's still up there. But I've watched a lot more
Yeah.
to the point where it's like I have others now.
Yep.
But it's still, since I have that kind of nostalgia to it, I'm like I have to kind of bring it up a little bit.
Do you
But it's
read-
not my like a top 3 or anything like that.
Building off that, do you read the My Hero manga?
I've read bits and pieces,
Are you caught up?
not as much. No.
Okay, I'm not gonna talk about it then. Something big just happened.
Well, don't say anything.
I'm not gonna.
Well, who does it involve? Because maybe
our protagonist.
because if it involved like Todoroki or anything, then I probably already knew. But if
Okay.
it was something else, then I would have been like, huh?
But
Anywho, I guess if I had to recommend you anything, Mitch, if you ever tried
See,
hopping
you-
back
you-
into the rabbit hole,
We've
know.
known each other for a long time, Kyle.
that's true.
And
And
Matt,
I always
not as long, but a good over
Yep.
a year.
Yep.
A year and a half almost.
almost 2 now, Mitch.
It's getting up
2,
there.
yeah.
It was 2.
Yeah, because I met you. Okay,
Yup.
I met you at
Yeah.
Mm.
I said
2
getting close to 2.
2 years.
2 years.
Just
Okay.
about.
Okay, I only knew you as the guy that made fun of Keaton, so
Yeah.
that, I don't feel like that's a fair representation.
That's a good first
of-
impression. I like you.
Hey, I feel like it's a pretty fair one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
No,
that
it was
makes
good. It was
sense.
hilarious, but you guys recommend me anime shows all the time.
I've recommended you 2. And it's the 2 I've watched. And so I know they're good.
Kyle has recommended a lot. Chops has recommended
Chops
a
does
lot.
recommend
Let
a lot
me
too.
give you the only 2 you need. Let me give you the only one truly that you need. Watch My Hero Academia.
Is that the one with the ship?
No.
What?
Oh, okay.
Wait.
I didn't know.
Ship as
Ship?
in
The pirate one that
oh,
Brandon and you
One
watched.
Piece. He's talking about One Piece.
Okay, I don't know. I said very far.
yep,
I don't.
So-
I watched from a very far
So,
distance.
and then if you're getting into a little bit more like philosophical or getting in one of those moods, I'd recommend Attack on Titan. especially now.
Yeah, it's
Especially now.
getting really
'cause
good.
The protagonist is kind of turning a little bit into the
kinda-
not protagonist.
The antagonist.
A little bit.
Yeah,
But he's still the protagonist in
Yeah.
my heart.
I think
I'm a Jaegerist.
those
I'm
are
sorry.
definitely
Like Cade
two
Yeager?
good ones to go off of for sure. I do have like Attack on Titan and My Hero are good. They're nice.
They're not even in your top 10, are they?
They are. They're up there.
Where? Are they in their top 5?
No,
What?
no,
They're not in your top 5?
I want to hear this top 3. Just the
You
top
wanna hear
3.
top
We
three?
only need to hear the top 3.
Okay. Well, let's see. There's so many I gotta go through.
In no particular
top-
order.
No particular order.
yeah.
I know for a fact number 1
Yeah?
is Yu Yu Hakusho, which is a very old one.
I've never seen,
Oh,
heard of it
Never
at
even
all.
heard of it.
It's one of those 90s animes that kind of like paved the way for a lot of stuff.
Before
Essentially,
98, I
it's all good, but that one will always be like right here for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you look closely, you watch as Kyle puts his rose-tinted glasses on and adjusts them as
Yep.
he makes this list.
Uh,
I'm just giving you a hard time.
no, it's all good.
the petals falling in the background.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
Pulls
around
out
him,
his
really.
his
Jesus
katana.
Christ. Number
His
2.
waifu pillow falls a little bit
Oh,
in the back.
jeez. Yeah, total weeb over here. I'm proud of it. Number
He's got his light up keyboard going on in the background.
oh hell yeah. Number
That's-
2
yeah.
for mine would probably be Steins Gate, which is just it's time travel. That's really all it needs to be.
Yeah, okay.
That one's a really good
yeah,
one.
I've heard of that one. I've seen bits of it.
Time travel, I just like time travel stories, and that one has a really good one. And it's
Okay.
also not like
Doesn't he turn one of his friends a different gender?
I think one of his friends is just an unclarified gender the whole time, but
Okay.
stuff kind of happens, and he has to keep going back and forth and back and forth and kind
Yeah.
of change. It's actually kind of cool. It's a short one, like 12 episodes maybe, but
But doesn't
Oh,
it feel like
that's-
an eternity? Like when he's like
That's
going
doable.
through
Yeah,
like,
like
the
you-
time travel? Like, yeah, it like messes with him up here.
yeah, like the thing with anime is that it can be intimidating just because of the fact like if you look at shows like One Piece where it's like 900 episodes to 1,000 and they've been going on for 20 years, then I can understand why it's like I don't even want to touch that. But you get these shows that come on every once in a while that's like 12, 13 episodes and then they wrap it up and then they're done.
Yeah.
Those are good too because it's just like you get as much as you need, you can move on to something else.
And that was the thing about like My Hero that I liked is that they were pretty like good. Like they're getting a little
getting-
away from that.
Yeah.
Now,
First, second, they were pretty good. Third was
Yeah.
kind of like okay, and then
well, third was the really good one.
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
was
that was a lot of stuff going on with that one.
what? Well, because that was All Might versus All for One.
Yep. Was that?
Yeah,
oh,
that was
Overhaul.
season
Overhaul
3.
was 4, wasn't
Season
it?
4, yeah.
I think
Yes.
after that, then it's like
Well, okay,
Just a
I
good
guess
moment, so.
beginning half of season
Yeah.
3. Because then second half season 3.
it's just a big hiatus, kind of.
Hmm.
And then my
Sucks.
third one.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's all good. This gave me some time to actually like shuffle in my head what the third one was because I already. Oh,
Full Metal?
it'd probably be Full Metal.
Yeah, that's a
Actually.
good one. I guess I have seen Full Metal.
Full Metal's
so
really good. It's a longer one,
That's
but
one they've recommended to me.
it's good.
it's good. I would say there's some moments in there where it's like, okay,
I still have my 2 shows beating that one.
oh yeah, like,
personally, but
yeah. Those I think those 3 are just my personal favorites. Attack on Titan and like My Hero, they're like
Attack on Titan's gotta be my.
They're- it'd probably be
Put it up.
if I had to put them, it'd be like
Because bro, like
My
it's,
Hero and then Attack on Titan and then like Naruto would be like kind of next to them.
it's so good. I've literally started reading the manga.
It's
That's
good.
how good it is.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
You have to read from right to left.
And it can be jarring.
It is.
Wait,
But-
really?
Yeah.
The way mangas are done is that you have to read
You-
them
Yeah.
right to left,
It's
Is
whack.
there
the same way you would read a book but backwards.
Yeah.
Is there a reason for that?
Because
There's-
script in
Yeah.
Japanese is that
Is
way.
bad.
Right to left. Okay.
Yeah, it's
all right,
backward.
all right. I didn't know if it was just some guy started making a manga
And
he's
everyone was like, "We need to do it the same
Yeah.
way."
yeah.
No,
Nah.
no, I
No.
think
That's just how it
that's
is.
how it works.
But-
Okay, that's understandable. Okay, good reason.
Yeah, and I mean,
good reason.
people can be, I have my, posters and I got my, my
Yeah.
clothes and my merch and stuff like that. There are people who go all the way with their like stuff, cosplaying as people or kind of like, having memorabilia and merch for one character and stuff like that. And I guess it's just how you've kind of been brought up. in
I mean,
essence.
my sister calls herself is it a weeb?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, she's called herself a weeb before,
Mhm. Yeah.
and I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, I watch anime. I'm
What
like,
the hell is that?
what? Well, I knew what the term meant because I
Yeah.
hang out with you.
hmm And thus, from extension,
Yes, I know what that
we
term
are
means.
yeah.
So like, I don't know how big my sister's into anime, but
Saying
the
you're
fact that she knows
saying you're a weeb would probably make you,
You probably pretty
you've
deep.
watched your
You're
fair
probably
share to
deep.
be like I like
she
it
spends
a lot.
of time in her room.
Preferably watching.
Don't we all? No, I'm just
She's
kidding.
got that Crunchyroll. She's got
Yo.
that Hulu.
Dude, Crunchyroll does not have Redo of Healer.
Not yet.
By the way, Redo of Healer, really messed up anime.
Yep.
Do not watch it, or do,
Please don't.
or do.
I mean,
I
it's
like
up to you.
revenge stories. That's why I'm watching it.
Fair.
I did not expect
It to go
the length
of which.
his suffering. I'll be honest.
I mean, you got to make sure you have to empathize with the character to understand.
Yeah, but he's
justify his
pretty
reasoning.
evil too.
People empathize with Zuko. It's fine.
Yeah,
You don't need to go
but
to
I
certain
don't.
lengths.
But Zuko didn't go through a lot that he did. No,
People still empathize with him. So I'm just saying, like, there doesn't need to be a whole lot
True.
to empathize with the character.
true.
He went through a
suppose.
decent amount.
Zuko did go through a lot.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
honestly.
say a lot. He went through a decent amount.
I mean, he got burned, shunned, exiled, grew his hair out. His sister was kind of an ass. But this guy on Redo of
But
Healer,
she-
he went through a lot.
Yeah,
She
he
had a-
got
kind of-
him like addicted to drugs. He got like abused like by dudes every night, like for a long time, like in the
It was-
dungeon.
It was bad.
Oh
And
God.
they like forced him to heal people, but every time he heals them, he sees like the horrible things that happen to them, like to where they got the injuries that he's healing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So sometimes
no.
people lose like their arms and legs, and he has to like heal them.
And here's how it happened.
All of that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he experiences how it happens, and then
Gee.
they keep making him like do it and like keep him on drugs and all this other stuff. It's terrible. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So when he
Yeah.
takes his revenge, I'm like, hey, you know what?
I understand.
You go get it, man.
You do
Now-
that.
You go, girl.
Now, my friends have told me what happens in the
Yeah.
manga, and it gets bad, man. It
Can't
gets
wait to
bad.
see
Wait,
that
so-
animated.
Bad, bad.
What's a manga? Is that like the not?
It's like a comic book. In,
okay.
Yeah, it's a graphic novel.
Yeah.
graphic novel. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And would you say they're typically in black and white?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some you can find
Okay,
in
that's
color,
what I was
but
imagining.
most of it is just inked in black and white,
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
which, that doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't take away too much for me.
No.
either.
Unless you really want to know. I really want to know what that character's hair is like and what their color is.
Yeah.
but-
I did find a book like that at the public library one time, and I tried reading it, and it confused me.
Did you read it left to right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
That's
that's the first issue right there. Yeah, no, I remember when I picked up my when I picked up a manga for the first time, and it was essentially that very same where I was like picking it up and reading it left to right, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm fucking everything's going like backward. I'm not following the story.
Right.
Weren't they just in a fight and now they just encountered the guy in the next page? Like
I just thought they were going back in time. Thought it was a big time travel story.
Yeah, no, it is definite. And then it feels weird too, because like the front of the book is technically the back of the book.
Right.
So you have to like flip it and like read it where the spine's on your like left hand. You
Yeah.
got to read it like this and like turn it this way. It's
weird.
yeah, no, it's very weird.
I think that's also maybe why I didn't get into it.
Mangas, yeah, no, it's a learning curve from reading novels and stuff like comics your whole life left to right, and then having to adjust to go right to left.
Yeah.
you know?
So with being so big in anime, the term gets thrown around weeb a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you consider weeb to be its own class of
People?
not
No, I'm
not
kidding.
not class of people, but like
Like
you
a
know,
bad
there's
term?
No.
Like
I
a
mean,
slur?
do you consider it like a bad term?
Oh hell no!
Okay,
It's
okay.
used as a bad
It's-
term by
some
other
peop-
people.
Some people
Yeah, it
like
is.
people who don't like
Get it?
who don't watch anime and stuff use the term weeb as like a bad thing,
It's a put down.
as
yeah.
like a put down. They'll be like, "Man, you're such a fucking weeb," you know.
yeah.
And then there are people who watch anime and you're like, "Yeah, I am a weeb."
That's
I
cool that
watch
you can
anime."
embrace it.
Yeah, it's like
Sucks you have
It's like
to.
being a nerd now. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
used
just-
to be an insult, but now
Now
like,
it's just like-
Well, that's
yeah.
what I was gonna. That's
Yeah.
where I originally was gonna go with this. Is do you think weeb is a subclass of like nerd or geek, or is it its own thing now?
It could kind of be. I mean,
It's
like
kind of its own thing. I would say
there are people who love comic books, and people who love comic books and toys are called nerds. You know, and
Yeah.
and people who like manga and anime are considered weebs, and it's
Well,
just
'cause-
like something you gotta take in stride mostly.
So what does that make me then? Like gamer weeb? Because I don't like comic books. Like
Right.
legitimately. So I'm not that kind of nerd. I don't know what classifies you as a geek. Is that like computer?
I feel like I remember hearing
Geek is-
someone telling me what the difference between a nerd and a geek was, and I forget what it was, but it was something like nerds are supposed to be like smart and do a lot of school stuff, whereas geeks are more like the comic book readers.
See, I
and
heard
the-
it was flipped.
It might be flipped, but I remember someone like saying what the difference was. and I
Because
was like,
I've been
"Ah."
called a nerd multiple times, just
Mhm.
because I used to. Sadly, I'm not anymore. But
Sadly,
I'm not. I used to be not
Where's
sadly.
this story going?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I started out weird.
I'm very scared.
Yeah.
I used to be really into Pokemon, and
Oh, and people
In
called
tur-
you a nerd for it,
yeah,
and it turned you away from it.
no. I
Oh.
didn't
No,
let.
it didn't.
No,
it
I
didn't
get
do
it,
that.
yeah.
It did not do that. It did not turn me away from Pokemon. I love Pokemon, and when Pokemon Go came out, I thought it was the coolest thing. Then I realized what they did with the game, and I was like, screw that. You fucked me over, game.
Yep.
Fuck you,
What
game.
happened?
You couldn't battle with other people, and that's the
Oh.
whole
Initially,
point of
yeah.
Pokemon.
Initially,
is to get the
it
best
was just you
Pokemon.
walking around collecting them.
You
and
make
I was
this
like,
bond with this
What?
creature, and you make it the strongest thing ever, and then you go kick your friend's ass with
yeah, you
it.
pick up this innocent-looking animal and you raise it
You
to be
teach
a
it to
fighting
fight,
machine
yeah.
and kill, and then you can become the strongest
not kill,
animal breeder
faint,
on the
faint.
entire planet.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Faint, not kill.
Yeah, and you gotta let them live inside of a little ball that
In a
goes
prison,
in your pocket.
in a
that
prison.
they cannot leave of their own accord.
Can't leave until you tell them to.
Yeah.
Pocket monsters, aka Pokemon.
Prison monsters, more like.
Yeah, dude. Where's
Prison
PETA, huh?
where's PETA at?
But
They
like
spend their time going after Steve Irwin. This
Yeah.
is what they should get on.
The Pokemon.
people called me a nerd all the time, and like I just didn't know if weeb was a subclass of nerd or geek, whatever the classification
Yeah.
is for that, or
It's-
if it's its own thing now. So
feel like-
it's so integrated with society now, it's become its own thing. Because geek and nerd,
Neek.
neek and gerd,
God.
Neek and Gerd.
Meek and Gerd, yeah.
Geek
What
and-
have you created?
Ugh.
ugh, gross.
Yuck.
Geek
My
and
mouth
nerd
hurts.
are
Yeah,
they're
I'm
like
saying that.
Yeah.
they're their own things. Like
Yeah.
people see them as two separate. Like we just talked about, like what's
Yep.
the classification for one and the other. The fact that we can't name it right offhand is not good.
Yeah.
But we know that they're two separate things. And I feel like weeb is a subclass of either one
Yeah,
of
it's
those.
its own thing.
It's,
yeah.
it can be
But
its own thing.
Well,
it's-
and it's not. It can. I feel like it is.
It is
yeah.
its own thing.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, because like you're not a nerd and a weeb. You're a weeb,
You're kind of a weeb, yeah.
right? It's
think-
not. It's not a, like, if this, then you are also this. It's more of just like a you are this because you do.
I didn't
this.
know if it had because I feel like at one point it rolled in with each other. Whichever one
It
it
might
fell
have at
under.
some point. Like it depends on everything that you do. People
Just
it could
because-
even it could even be like as different as people who say pop and people who say soda. I mean, it's like it's the same thing, but people just call it differently. Like
I
to
wouldn't
some
say
people that
weeb
could
and
be
nerd
No,
is
I
the
mean
same.
like in terms of nerd and geek,
Oh,
then it's like pop and soda. When it comes to like weeb, then it's like its own thing.
it's like Mexican soda.
Sure, that.
But Kyle,
Yeah.
talking about anime that we actually like.
Yeah.
I have also watched with you. Do you have a favorite hero off My Hero or favorite character off My
Well,
Hero?
you know, there's always the obvious ones. I like All Might. I'm a fan of Deku, you know, and everyone
yeah.
likes Deku. Everyone likes All Might.
Oh, you're supposed to.
You're supposed to, exactly. But
I have no
I-
really.
I know
bad
for a
qualities
fact the
other
one
than
that
maybe
I-
crying too many
I know
times.
for a fact the one that I hate the most, it's Mineta. It'll always be Mineta.
Really?
I hate Mineta.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a perv, but he's like useless.
Exactly. That's why I don't like him.
Ah,
Yeah.
You know who I hate the most?
Ooh.
Froppy.
Oh, you don't like Froppy?
No,
Frog
dude.
Girl?
She's the most useless hero I've ever
I
seen.
feel like she's more useful than Mineta. Because, like,
At least Mineta can subdue people easily.
yeah, but she got a tongue. She could wrap them up.
Yeah,
call it a day.
great. Yeah, the communities really loved that.
True.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I
true.
think my favorite hero would probably be Shinzo.
Really?
I like Shinzo.
Does he get better?
Well, he's getting trained by Aizawa.
Right. But does he become more of like a hero? Because he didn't
Yeah.
seem much like a hero
Yeah,
last
yeah.
time we saw him.
He goes through a lot of training to become like essentially Aizawa, but like
with
with
mind
the
control.
mind control. And I liked his power as soon as I saw it, and I was like, that's actually kind of cool. Where it's
Okay.
like you ask someone a question, and if they answer it, you immediately got them. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. I like that. And then you give, and at first you're like, that might seem a little useless because you have to actually talk to somebody first. So then they were like, okay, well, let's just give him Aizawa's cool like tape shit, not the shit that shoots out of his elbows like that other guy, but
right,
like
but his
the
like,
wrap
rope
him up stuff. So
yeah.
it's like that's actually kind of cool. I mean, and then there's also Hawks, but like with the feathers and the wings, and that's
doesn't
cool
he
too.
like
He can like shoot them.
Doesn't he like go like not good for a little while?
I guess you're just gonna have
Why'd
to
you say that
find
so
out
quietly?
because it might
'Cause
be
I don't know if
a
it's a
possible
spoiler.
spoiler. But
I don't know if it's a
you'll have to
spoiler or
see
not.
what happens
you were-
later in the
Later.
mangas and the
Spoiled it for
shows.
me, Matt. Jeez.
Yeah,
Will you
please.
actually
won't even
watch
watch
My
it before
Hero?
We're out of here. You should.
You
You
sh-
really should, but you won't.
Do you like
Yeah,
Sky
you're
High?
right.
Did you like the movie Sky High? Please tell me you know what Sky High is.
Is that the one where they have superpowers?
It's
Yeah, I
yes.
mean they have superpowers.
they had
that the-
superpowers and they're at a high school
It's where he's got the super strength.
and he gets like super
and
strength
flying.
and his dad
Is that the bad CGI one where he turns into the Rock?
is
He-
is it
What?
Or like one of the kids is where they're like
There's a guy-
superhero
sidekick? Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
'Kay.
It's like that.
I've seen a clip out of
But
that
not
movie. I've
as-
never seen the whole movie.
Essentially, it's like that
Oh, I
but
think-
better.
I think I was on duty or I was in the office with Matt one time and I think you were watching it.
No.
He
I was not watching.
Someone
Sky
was
High.
watching. Oh, not
No,
Sky High.
My Hero.
Oh,
My Hero.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, because,
Yeah. I absolutely was.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's
That's when
'Cause
I was
they're-
on the binge of
Yeah.
My Hero.
And it's
Yeah, they were
good.
playing soccer. I was like,
Yeah, it
oh
was-
wow.
They were playing soccer.
You sure it wasn't the one where they were throwing the stuff?
Maybe
Like,
they were kicking a
talk-
ball around and
they
it
were
looked
kicking
like in a
ball
soccer
in
stadium.
a soccer stadium.
No, that you were in the tourney arc, man.
Oh damn!
They were like racing, or no, they were on the backs. It was the,
yeah,
the
it was
champion. It was
the
on
headband thing
Yeah,
where you have to take the
yeah,
headband
yeah.
from people.
Hey, from someone that just
Honestly, just watch the show. I mean,
It's really, really
hey,
good.
it's
when I have to
dude.
stop playing Pokemon Go because I know I don't have enough time. Do you think I have enough time to sit down and watch an anime?
you have enough time to stay up and watch Critical Role for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't even. You know
I'm just saying.
do you know how much progress I made over break? Like
How
a ton.
much?
Like I cleared like 5 episodes. Like I finally broke the 100 mark.
You cleared 5 episodes over break.
that
Do
can
you
be
know how
done in
many
like
I've
2
cleared
3
over
days.
I don't need to hear it.
Let me guess.
On Thanksgiving break,
Let me
when I
see.
first heard about it,
Double digits? Double digits?
I went from the Gray Spine mines or whatever
Mm-hmm.
all the way up through the Briarwood arc.
That's a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
You can get a lot done if you just have free time. on
Dude,
your
if
hands.
you've got time on your hands,
Honestly, that's why it's like it's so easy to just binge
Dude.
watch a show.
yeah.
I mean, Critical Role obviously is a longer show because it's like 3-4 episodes,
And
like hours.
Dude,
and
do you know
stuff.
what's hilarious? I did not like the first episode of My Hero. I had to stop watching it because I was like,
This is
I don't know that I like this. This is like
and
dumb.
At first,
Like-
it's
Like,
it kind of starts off a little like, okay, that's kind of cool. I guess.
Well, it gives you a lot of pills to swallow right away. Like
Yep.
it's like, okay, we got superhero society. Like this kid doesn't have any powers. He wants to be a hero, but he doesn't have any powers. Oh, he's getting like
He's-
eaten or something. You're not sure.
he
and
gets
then
saved by the
Saved
Japanese
by
equivalent
number
Saved by
of
the
one
Bell?
hero.
Yeah.
Oh.
Saved by number one hero.
Total badass.
Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum, bum,
Yeah.
bum, 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 bum,
If we had to recommend anything, it'd probably be that because I think you would like that the most. Attack on
I-
Titan can be a little gory, and I don't know
I've
if you're a
heard
fan of gore.
Attack on Titan can break you.
Chop said that I should watch Seven Deadly Sins.
That's not a bad
It's
one.
good.
It can,
Yeah.
It's not bad. That's not one I would probably. I mean, I'd recommend it
I
if
would
you
not-
really want to get into more stuff. But
That's once you're already in anime. I feel
Yeah.
like that's not a good one to start on.
my
Oh,
Hero's a
okay.
good one to start.
It
It gives you the general basics of what an anime is like, at least in because this is considered to me what people call a shonen anime, which is very
Yep.
action oriented. And then there's other genres of anime too.
Okay.
Attack on Titan's
Drama.
that too, right?
Yeah.
Shonen, yeah.
Dramas, harems, romantic ones, comedic ones.
Is Redo of Healer a harem?
I think a harem would be more not like that. I think that kind of goes under, I guess, Attack on Titans in terms of like what it kind of resembles. It's dark. There's some moments
dark.
There's some moments of some very dark things.
Really bad.
But it kind of follows that kind of. There's some action in there. I mean, it's not action. Not is really good, but
Yeah, it's not.
there's some
That,
stuff
it's
in
not
there.
good
It's
actions.
not
It's
good
evil
action,
actions.
but yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't consider it like a harem. I think
Um,
harems are more reserved for hee hee ha ha's, slice of life, high schooler going to school kind of stuff, just normal. I really like this girl, and she's like, not
Right.
not Redo of Healer, where it's like, oh Jesus Christ, fuck.
I like how we've only used profanity to describe this show because we literally probably couldn't describe it.
There's
on this
really
podcast.
nothing else you can describe it as other than
There are no
Jesus Christ. That is
It's
really
dark.
bad.
It's dark.
But yeah.
Do you have a favorite like type of anime then? I guess.
I've grown up with shonens my whole life. There have been some comedies that I have seen that are pretty funny. Like two of them.
All right.
If I just throw them out right now, and you can look this up later, Matt, if you want.
Mhm.
One's called Prison School. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And the other one is Haven't You Heard? My Name is Sakamoto. Long title. Essentially, Prison School, as you may have guessed, is about these guys in a school that is also a prison, and all the men are imprisoned and all the women are not. They just do their school duties. It gets a little crazy, but there's some pretty
No.
good moments in there.
It doesn't get crazy.
It does. It totally does.
All right. What's the other one?
And the other one is Haven't You Heard? My Name is Sakamoto, where this guy is in high school and he's literally the perfect man.
Oh, I have seen some of that.
Yeah. He literally can't do anything wrong. He just does everything to the T. Even when people try to fuck him up,
Yeah.
and he tries messing him up in some way, shape, or form, somehow he turns it around, and he's more of a god than man. That is a good show. Quick too.
Sounds like my kind of show.
That probably would be. It's not. It's pretty funny. It's kind of ridiculous with the shit that happens in it. Nothing. There's no like blood or gore. It's just
No,
a lot
it's
of
just
like
what?
how the fuck.
What?
How can you do that? That's so stupid. But then you have to. Then you're like,
I
it's
guess,
Sakamoto.
Yeah.
I
Like,
mean, it's-
yeah, you know,
so what can you do?
respect.
Yeah, respect. But I think with that being said, I think that really
Do you have
puts
a
the
favorite-
icing on the cake, doesn't it? Or unless there's something
I
else,
suppose. Mitch, are you actually gonna try watching some My Hero?
No.
Damn, we tried.
What about Attack on Titan?
We tried.
You know, you got me more interested in that just because I saw a meme on Twitter, and it was literally the scene that
The
you
meme.
showed me the night
Yeah.
before. I thought that was pretty funny. So, and I've seen clips of Attack on Titan, and it's interesting. I mean, the wall is the same thing from Avatar, so that's like a good.
Is it?
Hey.
I
I
don't
would
know.
consider the walls to be more like a boss saying say kind of thing, where it's like, oh yeah, we're good. Then no one can break through.
Yeah, but
Here-
isn't there a scene where a Titan like goes
Yeah.
over the wall?
Exactly.
Yeah, the Colossal Titan. Yeah, that's the first episode.
the
Yeah,
very
and the
first
Fire
episode.
Nation breaks through the wall in Boxing Say.
Yeah, exactly. But
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That's
do,
why
do
I'm
you
like,
see
I
my
would-
logic? Is my logic wrong or?
no, no,
It's.
it's a little.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah,
But you haven't seen Attack on Titan.
you
Okay.
gotta
Yeah.
watch Attack on Titan.
So if I was gonna watch any anime, it would probably be Attack on Titan.
Yes,
It's a good
But-
one.
Do I have time?
yes,
Yeah.
bro.
Probably. You actually probably do.
You could skimp on one episode of Critical Role and watch like
5,
episodes,
yeah.
You know
five
how long
episodes.
I've been on episode 100?
How long?
Quite a while.
For a week. I have made no progress.
I guess now it's time to make some progress on AOT. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, man. VRV. As long as you're not watching the newest episodes, because that's only on premium,
Premium.
which sucks. But
is
with that,
free.
I guess we'll take our break
Yep.
and we'll come back. ladies and gentlemen, we're back from our break, and now I guess it's time for the. Well, I guess I can't call it the regular D&D segment this time, can I?
No, there was there was no D&D for Kyle and I.
Yes, there
Yeah.
was no D&D. For everybody that doesn't know, which is the majority of the audience, I was gone for the weekend from Friday to Sunday, and I ran D&D for my dad and some of his college buddies
I missed him
that whole
greatly.
time.
I cried the entire weekend. I was like,
It's true.
Where's my Maddie Poo?
Oh, he's
That
a crybaby.
did happen, and
I
I
sent him a
collected his
snap.
tears in a jar.
Yep.
No, that was extremely weird. I don't know why I said that.
I can't believe you went with that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
went deep with that one.
Yeah. So anyway, I ran the session. I harkened back to like the old like first edition, second edition Dungeons and Dragons style, which is
Oh,
like
wow.
you guys are, here it was. I retrofitted something I've already run for like one shots for that, which means lots of random encounters, lots of really bad stuff, a little bit of a dungeon crawl, some puzzles, and your regular D&D stuff. But they had a lot of random encounters. One of them was just a rock that would like move closer to them when they are looking away, and then when they look back at it, it would stop.
Oh, like the Weeping Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that really freaked them out because they're like, "What is it?" And I'm
Why is that rock following us?
and I was like, They're like, "Well, no, Matt, it's following. Why is it doing?" I'm like,
It's just a rock.
dude.
It's a
I
harmless
don't know.
rock.
It says right here on the random encounter table, a rock that follows you and stops when you look at it.
I
Did it
it's
ever
not
do
har-
it?
It's a
Did it ever
harmless
do
rock.
anything to him?
No.
Oh, that's great.
It was just a
it's
harmless
amazing.
rock.
That's
just-
amazing.
I'm like, that's really weird. I don't know why that's in there, but okay.
Yeah, just it's
Sure.
not even like an animal, a creature. It's just
It's
a rock.
just a rock.
So if they had went and kicked it, it would have slowly.
They like touched it. They did like magic checks on it. It was a rock.
It was just a rock that followed them.
There's nothing else to it. It was a rock. Yeah, so like
That's
the island
great.
is like in the Bermuda Triangle. It's segmented into 5 different biomes, all meeting at one mountain, which turns into a spire. Each biome is, from jungle to tundra to redwood to desert to like Shadowfell, and then there's a giant dragon that lives there. There's a cult that worships the dragon that takes all the boat survivors, and they met this NPC, and he was like a really shady dude who was probably helping the cult take people.
Would be surprised.
Just being let off scot-free because he was telling them where people are to take.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Yep. And the party gave him to some were-tigers.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's pretty,
Yep.
that's pretty,
Yeah, the
pretty
were-tigers
intense.
were about to like mess them up, and they're like, here, offering. And it was the dude tied up. And I was like, make a persuasion check. And he's like, natural 20. And I'm like, okay, well, they take him, and then they leave.
They took him, and he's gone. for good.
Jesus.
Yep.
Nice.
They fought giant spiders in the woods, but that was random encounter, not like because of anything else.
Follow the spiders.
Yeah. There was like sandworms from Dune that they saw in like the distance because they were
Yeah.
on the line between the jungle and the desert.
Okay.
And so they saw an elephant just get like consumed by.
Yeah,
a
if
giant
I would have saw that,
sandworm.
I would have
Wow.
been like, all right, so we ain't going that way.
Yeah, that's basically one person's like made a spice joke, and I was like, hey, I get that. It's a Dune reference.
Hey.
Hey.
Dad, yeah. I like
So
that.
they go to the jungle temple that they find, and they get one of the artifacts, which is a snake fang that's like glowing, and it gives you like true sight or like thermal vision,
Ooh.
and it gives you like serpent's haste, which is just a haste spell. It's got 3 charges.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
the last charge, I don't remember what it does. I have it written down somewhere.
Okay.
They find that one. They go to the redwoods, and they find a giant. It's called a what is it called? Is it called a rock? The giant birds in D&D, like.
Basso?
no,
it's
no,
not Basso.
rock.
Oh, rock. Rock.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
What is-
Does
it's
it
like-
follow them when they're not looking?
no. It's a giant. What's the pterodactyl of Godzilla?
Oh.
Rodan.
Rodan. Yeah.
It's a Rodan-sized
bird.
that hunts dragons. That's what it was. Its divine purpose was to hunt dragons.
Wow.
My God.
So they saw that, and then they went to the Redwood Temple, and in the Redwood Temple, it was like a mixture of like the potion brewing, but a little bit more complicated than that because they had to have the right amount of stuff. And then they figured it out way sooner than they were supposed to because they were really smart. But basically what I did was, you remember the potion thing you did?
Kind of.
That was based off of what I did here a long time ago. So
Okay.
this one was, they've got all the different like, like powders.
Oh, like the
and-
alchemy
and-
stuff you
yeah,
were doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that, but there's like these two braziers that like come down to like a magical like dome that has the gauntlet in it, the rock gauntlet,
Okay.
which the rock gauntlet also gives you wings for an
Yeah.
hour that let you fly 120 feet.
Wow.
Yep. That resets at every sunrise.
Golly.
But yeah, that's as far as they got. But then each zone has its own temple. But like I said, the Sand Temple was raided
Yep.
by the dragon, and so they have to fight the cult like up the dungeon. That's gonna be going up instead of down because they're going up to the top.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still,
seems
that's
like
kind of cool.
Yep.
I do like that. I like
Yeah,
the,
it's
the
a lot of
ideas of the
fun.
biomes.
Yeah. And then the island also takes your memories,
Yep.
but that's because it has something to do with all the artifacts and all the creatures. Because they also found a giant snake in
Yep.
the. They found a spirit naga in the
Oh, nice.
jungle, but they hid from it, which is also where the tooth comes from. And then you have the rock gauntlet, and then in each biome, it's got its own like
Yeah.
dominant creature. Which
So-
is
The people
about as
who
far as
were
they made
the people who were playing, what were their like characters? Did they have like
yeah. So we had a dwarf barbarian. We had a
okay.
elven paladin. We had a
Okay.
half orc druid monk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Double
we,
trouble.
Yeah, we had a drow
Okay.
rogue, and then we had I think it was a human bard,
Okay.
and that was
That
everybody's
that
characters.
half orc druid monk
Yeah,
is the most interesting mix I probably heard.
it was really cool actually.
I was like, okay, I was like half orc, so I was like, okay, so it has to be some kind of like fighter,
And then
so-
druid.
and then druid, and I was like, oh,
druid, and
then I hear monk, and I'm like,
yeah,
what the- yo, that kind of sounds cool as hell.
yeah, because then you can like wild shape and key
Yeah.
points and all that weird stuff. Yeah,
Oh shit.
the combos, the
Yeah,
combo,
the wombo combo.
the wombo
It's like
combos.
Keyleth from both campaigns.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But my dad
Sorry.
was a paladin, and he had sacred flame from his like elven background. So he's
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna shoot things with sacred flame, or not sacred flame, firebolt.
Yeah.
He had firebolt. I'm just gonna shoot things with firebolt from a distance. And I'm like, okay. And then he did like one turn in combat,
Yeah.
got a natural 20, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna put my divine smite in this, and he just killed it in one hit.
Oh
like-
no.
I was like,
Well,
Okay.
I can't argue with the dice. And what level
Yeah.
were they when they started?
they were like 2. He got a
Yeah.
19 AC with shield.
God.
Yeah,
level
dude.
2, unbeatable. You can't beat me.
Yeah.
Stop.
And you just sheathe the sword and shoot stuff with firebolt from a distance. I had a T-Rex encounter. The druid used like grasping vines to stop it in track, and then my dad was just lighting it on fire because it was vines like that came out of the ground. It was like
Oh,
roots.
dude, that's
And I was
actually
like
kind of
kindling,
smart.
and so they were like shooting it, and just setting it on fire, and it was rolling terrible, so it never escaped, and they just murdered it right there.
And they ate
basically
it.
put it on a pyre, and they did.
Yeah, they
and
cooked
they skinned it.
They cooked it and
No
ate it.
fucking
way.
I would assume because they burnt it to a crisp. Might as well eat it. Like,
Yep,
oh,
that was
actually,
like one of their first encounters. And
that's
they're
actually
like,
really, really smart to like burn the vines on it and like.
Yep.
Yeah.
and with the spiders, they didn't attack them. They like gave it some of the T-Rex meat.
Oh, they
Oh,
became
wow.
friends
Away,
with them.
because the druid was the first one to find the spiders.
Oh, yep. So he's like,
He's like, I like spiders.
I got this. I got this. I know what I'm
So you're
doing.
saying I just needed to give him some owl meat?
You just
Yup.
needed to not provoke
Yup,
them, and we would
that's what
we
it
would
was.
have
Yup.
we would have just escaped. Harry.
Nope. But yes, that was basically what happened.
That
Usually,
sounds super fun.
That
Yeah.
does sound really fucking cool.
well, usually it doesn't like take that long because there's not as many random encounters. But I wanted to have more of that because that's what they were used to playing. you
Yeah,
know?
having
That's
those
what they
random,
grew up playing.
Right.
having
and harkens back
random-
to the OG Dungeons
Yeah.
and Dragons.
not a lot of like big like story element stuff. It's just go find these. You might meet these along the way. There's a certain goal. Get her done.
Yeah,
I love one shots. Like
they're fun.
I will say the one shot we played up in the hills.
Yeah.
I miss Seto. I miss Faku. You know, the bureau was just the bureau was
Matt
just.
is hanging his head right now.
I liked those characters. I liked the fact that I had like essentially what was it?
What
Like
was
a scimitar
Dan's
that
character's name?
it was like a magenta scimitar that I could like summon out of my hand and shit, and that was like really cool. And then like Faku was just
Hilarious.
just
This
a
is
fucking
great.
goblin. He's
Yeah,
just
that
like,
was the one I
want this.
cooked up in like an hour.
Yeah.
And we stayed up for a
We stayed up
fucking
till, like,
while.
4:30 in the morning.
Ah,
Yeah,
that was a fun time though.
I'm
that's
just
good.
I had I think that was my first D&D session, and
Yeah.
I've wanted to play D&D for a long time. So
Yeah.
you really nailed it.
No, it was.
Don't get me wrong, I'm
great.
loving the campaign now, and the one shot we did over Halloween was phenomenal.
I loved every single. I
Mason
honestly though,
Voorhees.
yeah, honestly, every single character that I've been able to play in any D&D that we've done, I've loved so far. Like
I do get a little bummed. I think my dwarf paladin, I think that's what he is.
Yeah.
Or was he a cleric? No, I think he was a cleric.
paladin, wasn't he?
I thought he was.
Maybe he was a cleric.
'Cause
Maybe
I-
he was a cleric.
I
He
think
was just
so
a-
because
yeah.
I had to
Yeah.
choose spells every day.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think
well,
he was a dwar-
paladins do that too. but
Oh,
you have to come up.
prepared
Yeah.
spell list. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was a cleric though. But yeah, you were saying something.
that one I feel like. I don't know. I wasn't as happy with that build.
Compared to like everyone else,
Just compared to Faku and Zion, like
Yeah.
he was the most
Clerics are
underdeveloped.
hard to love.
Yeah.
For me too.
You have to
some
like give
people
them
really like them.
Yeah, you have to give them like something that makes them kind of compelling. Like clerics are like, yeah, we're your healers, and that's like paladins are like, yeah, we can heal too.
Yeah, we're
but we also
holy warriors.
beat ass.
Yeah.
Like we have a lot of stuff, and clerics are like, well, I'm like the peaceful kind of person. You can be like, let's kill everybody, but then it's also like, but I'll stand back here and I'll give you a pat on the back and cure you of all your wounds and stuff while I'm saying a prayer or whatever. But like, yeah, all the characters I've done. I mean, granted, 2 of them were warlocks, and 1 of them was just a tiefling gunslinger.
Yeah.
But like, it made me think about a lot of where I want to go if I ever make a new character, which is why I like brought up like that stuff about multi-classing like before. I know like a few episodes ago I talked about it, I think, and it was like I've always done warlocks because warlocks are fun. I like playing warlocks even if their essentials are Eldritch Blast and that's about it, maybe a hex or 2 and some stuff like that, but
Hex is cool. I like Hex a little bit more than Hunter's Mark,
hex
just because it gives him the disadvantage.
yeah, and using Pact
Hunter
of
Mark
the
is free damage though.
yeah.
That's true.
Pact of the Blade is just
I thought you
kinda-
got an extra D6 when you did Hex though too.
you get like disadvantage with a few stuff. Now
I
if
think
you
get an ability check that they get disadvantage.
if
on.
you
I
get
think
like
that's what it is.
if you
I
do
thought that-
Hexblade's Curse, that's different because it's essentially kind of like Hex.
I'm gonna look it.
But
I'm gonna have
Yeah,
a buddy.
we'll have we'll have a broski
Yep.
hook us up.
Because I thought essentially Hex was the same as Cure or Hunter's Mark, but you got a disadvantage. You got to choose a disadvantage for the person you put it on.
No, I think let's see. Yeah, see, there's Hexblade's Curse, which allows me to put a baleful curse on people, and I can choose a creature.
You deal an extra 1d6 necrotic damage.
Mhm.
whenever
Yeah, and you get a
hit it with an
1d6.
attack. You choose one ability to cast a spell.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so there's Hex, and then there's also Hexblade's Curse, which I have not done in a while, but apparently I just gained the ability to do it as a bonus action. They're cursed for 1 minute. If they die, if I die, or if I'm incapacitated.
For Warlock though.
It might be for maybe sorcerers
For
if they
Hex?
could learn it. I think Hex is
Mm.
not
No,
Warlock
you can,
specific.
You can take a feat and you can get it.
Hexblade's
you can take a
Curse.
feat? Headphones.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, it was yours.
It was me all
Anyway.
along.
Well, there was some interference over the headphones.
So
But
yeah,
there's
Hex.
feats you can take
yeah.
where you can choose. It's
Mhm.
in Tasha's Cauldron.
Tasha's. All right, I'll have to look at that.
And Hexblade's Curse, I
I've
think
got notes
is
on my work computer.
specifically to
Remember,
Pact
though,
of the
if you take
Blade
a feat,
users.
You don't take ability score improvement.
No, I know.
yeah.
Okay.
And
I know.
Make sure you remember that because
yeah, sometimes
are good. So are feats.
sometimes I kind of
That's
mix
why
up
that-
the
It's like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they're the rules for a reason, man.
Yeah. There's a feat that gives you Misty Step, and it gives you. I think it
Yeah, the
gives you a
ability to
+1.
teleport. Right?
It gives you.
That's-
Yeah, Misty Steps gives you the ability to teleport.
Yeah,
it's,
I
it's like a
would've-
lesser.
I know I missed it.
Yeah.
It was one of the cantrips that I could have picked up, but I didn't.
It's not a cantrip.
Or it was
It's a
something
spell.
it
It's
was
a
something-
level 1 spell.
It was something I could have gotten, but I chose not to get it.
And I
essentially,
forget,
but
and I could be messing
probably
up my
should've.
feats here, but it's like you get Misty Step and you can use it once without expending a spell slot for a day. After that, you can still use it, but you expend spell slots.
It's essentially a free teleport. For
It's a free
one-
teleport for a round
Yeah.
or whenever you want to use it. You still get a +1 to either charisma, wisdom, or one other
Intelligence. Probably.
intelligence, probably. Yeah, and then you get to this could be mixing up the feats, like I said, but you get to choose either another level 1 spell or a cantrip from the School of Divination or Abjuration,
Okay.
Alright.
which is essentially either you choose from the Warlock spell list, basically, or Paladin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I was like, that is a dope feat. And you still get a +1 to whatever check or ability
Yeah.
score you want. I get a free spell slot. And I thought you got a cantrip too, but I could be wrong on that.
Like
That seems a little OP though.
that's why I wanted to kind of
Because
try
No, I think
that
it is
kinda
a
stuff, you know.
I think it is a cantrip because whatever class or whatever school you choose your cantrip or spell from, you have to choose also the same school for the cantrip or spell.
yeah,
like, you
'cause you
can't
can't
choose-
just learn a whole new school.
Yeah.
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 You can't choose a spell from divination or a cantrip from divination and then choose a spell slot level 1 spell from
Transmutation or something.
transmutation.
Yeah. It's why I'm like so keen on trying to multi-class into stuff. Because like warlocks are cool, but you know,
Warlocks are
I
pretty
looked
dope.
at, I was just looking at all the people we have in our party, right? And we don't have we have kind of healers.
I'm a stronger healer now.
You're stronger now because of the sorcerer stuff, but it's like, if I take the role of paladin, obviously they're not like cleric levels of like you are now heal with the light of God.
You should
But
you
you-
should do it, Kyle, because your character it makes sense for your character. Like the reason I'm multi-class is because I took that power.
Yeah.
And,
and I think
it
it's just-
and that the whole thing about sorcerer is it's a magical energy within you that you have no idea how you got it or
It's kind of just
where it
awoken
comes from,
in you.
and it's awoken. And taking
Yeah.
taking the power I got from the deep is
Kind of awoken it inside. you.
it's what sparked it. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if it's
I guess
people before me has had it.
could possibly.
So
Maybe.
I mean,
I think
not to
from-
give you too much on insight on
Yeah,
my
yeah,
character,
yeah.
but that's how that happened. That's
Yeah,
why I'm
no.
multi-class.
I get it. I think with me,
So you should do it to make sense to your character. If you want to
Yeah.
form it around your character, then
yeah,
you should do that. But also like have it make sense.
right. And I think
Don't do it
that's-
because the party's like, oh, we need a healer.
I think it's
that's
That's
just
the worst reason to
yeah.
do
Yeah.
anything,
It's just I think
in
for
my
me,
opinion.
Because I considered multi-classing in Paladin as well.
right.
I was like, I told Matt, I was like, well, we need a healer, and he's like, you shouldn't do it because the
A
party
healer.
needs something. You should do it for your
Because-
character.
yeah,
Because
and
I think we were talking wizard and sorcerer were the two front runners. Like I was leaning more towards sorcerer, and that's obviously why I went with it. But you're like, you should look into wizard too.
yeah,
Like wizards are really cool. And I was like,
The class I've always wanted to play is a necromancer.
that is
oh really?
yeah.
Think
I've always
about
wanted to
it.
play blood hunter. You know,
You murk some minotaur and then
you can rise
you
it back
can just
up.
be like, hey, you're my personal bodyguard now.
Yeah,
Kill anyone that comes near
a
me.
zombified.
Here's a new battle axe.
yeah,
True.
Like your enemies become your allies. That's so cool to me.
Mhm.
yeah,
And then that also gives me a quest later because I'll tell you guys this.
hmm
There's a spell for any CR, which means challenge rating, creature at this level with an intelligence of 12 or lower, or with intelligence of 12 and above gets to save from it. But if it's lower than 12,
Mm.
it doesn't get a save. Mummy lords are an entity in the game.
yeah.
Obviously, if you're a necromancer, you would know about because they're undead.
They are
Yep.
undead.
That's what you like. That's
That's your
your
specialty.
lane.
That's
Yeah,
your specialty. Yep.
and they have an intelligence of 11, so you can control them. And then once you do it, it's forever, and they can make their own things too, which would be subservient to you.
Oh my
So
god.
So
essentially-
you
you
can,
can make
start making an army.
army.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we get a keep and we need to man it. Well, don't worry, I can get things to man it for us.
What are I guess
Jesus.
to kind of go into
Yeah.
it? What
like- what are we gonna do now? Well, hey guys, I've had this plan cooking in the background for a little bit. Do we want to have our blah 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 armed forever? I mean, yeah,
that'd be
that
kinda
sounds, that sounds
cool.
pretty good.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, cool. We're taking a trip to the desert.
let's go to the desert. What are some
That's
subclasses?
pretty dope.
I know.
What are
I've
some,
always wanted to do it,
So what are some subclasses for
but
paladin?
I'm a
Do you,
forever DM.
do you know any subclasses of paladin? I know paladins are holy warriors, but I don't exactly know because with ASMRs there's and with warlocks there's
There's Path of Devotion.
Mhm.
With Path of Devotion's a pretty good one. I like
Yeah.
that one. But there's Path of Vengeance. There's the Oathbreaker, which is like your edgy paladin.
Oh, well, I'm
who's
already
not a.
Well,
who's,
I'm
he's
already
paladin, but he's not
fallen Asamar, so I mean,
warlock.
yeah. And I got bone wings because my I'm not the cool angels with their feathers and their shit because I'm not with that shit. Because I was like, if I go down paladin, it has to obviously make sense. I can't be like a like spirit of God kind of. I think in terms of him being a paladin, it's more like in his mind. Obviously, since he's died, his perspective on life is completely different.
Yeah.
Because he died. He's the only member who's like died,
Mhm.
and he didn't even really die. Because his last words
No,
were
he died.
he died, but like
Now he's back.
came back, and
It's complicated.
yeah, his whole life is just has been really fucked up to this point. I mean, his last words before he died was, "I'm going to, I'm going to finally see you, brother,"
And then he didn't.
and then he didn't. He's like, I don't know what to believe anymore because I've died. I was gonna, I've lived my life, and I didn't even. I'm in this weird place.
Yeah.
It's cold. It's dark.
It's
there's-
not cold. It's temperate.
It's like warm.
It's nice.
It's heated.
Listen.
All
All right.
I come to this, place. I don't even get a proper, and then I get shoved back into
After 3 days.
after 3 days. But yeah, I get essentially taken from death and brought back to life. And now he's at this point of he doesn't know what or where to go now because he's like I've been kind of coping with the fact that I've died, and now I'm here, and that's why he was like I wanted to talk to the Raven Queen because like he has some stuff with that, but he tried talking to her, and then he obviously we talked about this last time in the podcast. It's like it would be kind of weird for you, the guy who died and came back, to talk to this being who kind of controls that stuff. Didn't see you down there. That's kind of weird, strange. Might cause a little bit of
We don't even
of
know if
trouble.
it's the Raven Queen though. That
Well,
isn't.
like,
That has not
it
been
doesn't.
confirmed.
We don't know.
That is not
Obviously,
in
we
the
don't know
manga.
that we don't know that the Dominus is banging the Raven Queen, but like
No, he's
he's
talking
just
about,
praying to the Raven Queen because he knows who it is.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like he knows who she is. Like obviously.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'm trying to pray to her because I don't know. Like I don't usually pray, but I'll try it this time. And I mean, she did answer, which was like, oh.
But how did she answer?
But how does she answer? She kind of answered in a way of like, well, I can't really help you at the moment, and you gotta trust your friends and stuff
No.
like that.
What did she say?
God.
Mitch, do you remember?
I know it wasn't in Oberyn's head. It was not the answer. He was like, "This is it. I finally found my purpose." It was like, it was
Isn't
one
it
of
the
those
same?
answers.
Is along the same lines as what your patron,
Patron.
aka the Deep, has told you multiple times,
It's along those lines,
right? I can't quote it word for word right now.
It's
Well, you were asking for more power, and she's basically like, no.
can't give you that. Yeah,
Like, you've already tapped some other people for power, and it's like
Can't.
all over you. I can see it.
yeah,
It's like,
Yeah.
so why are you gonna come to me now?
Right.
You got to start
Are
learning.
you power hungry, Kyle? Is
I mean,
Oberyn power hungry?
essentially, he kind of is. He's not like I want to rule the galaxy with
I was-
my newfound power, but there's
Say, I'm
reasons
not
for
even
why.
that- I'm kidding, yeah.
I
There's
was saying,
reasons
I'm
for
not
why
even
he
that
wants-
bad. Like
No,
I'm
there's-
power hungry. Don't get me wrong.
Your power hungry is different from me being power hungry, just because it's like for you, because you're the aspect of conquest.
I want to take over a continent.
You-
You,
yeah, you-
want to take over the fucking multiverse.
No, that's definitely not what I want. No, anytime I talk to the patrons, it's not. I want the power to fucking
I'm
kill my
Doofenshmirtz.
enemies.
You're Thanos.
It's not that.
You're what?
I'm Doofenshmirtz.
And I'm
Yeah, okay, that's
Thanos.
what I thought you
Yeah.
said.
No, like whenever I
I want to take over just a little bit and
Well, maybe you should start small.
see, Oberyn isn't trying to like take over anything. Every time he's talked to his like patron and even the Raven Queen for like more power,
I
it's
want to
not-
save people.
I
It
wanna
cuts back to
s-
the city in the
Yeah.
Sunless Sea. Ah, my leg. Ah.
He did. That was just a miss on my part.
yeah,
but like
sure.
Yeah,
essentially, he wants power to
Save others.
save others, not bend them to
yeah,
his
and
will. or
Aaron
anything.
just wants the power of the Founding Titans, so that way he can, have freedom.
Exactly.
Yeah,
For his people.
exactly, yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
save people.
You don't get it, but we do.
I do. It's
I thought you were talking about Aaron. Like,
Aaron
Bible.
Yeager.
no, I thought you meant my mentor.
No,
No.
no.
I was like,
no,
oh,
no,
you just spoiled something.
No.
You weren't
no.
supposed
Like
to say
Aaron
that.
Yeager.
Like yeah, like his
Attack on Titan.
Gotcha.
something has
You mean
happened to
Katie
him.
Yeager, Transformers 4 and
No.
5.
Some shit hit the fan for our boy, and he just at that time wasn't strong enough, and he's always thought that way since even before, and now especially seeing that there have been a lot of moments where he wasn't able to save people because he's just like I felt powerless, so he's always asking to have
More power.
more power. But
Okay.
it's not like I want to. I mean, he does want to kill people who maybe wronged him, possibly, but not like I want to take over everything and rule. There's just people I need to find and I need to take care of, and I don't think I have the power to do it. So that's why he's always asking for it. And he does get no's a lot more than yeses because he doesn't exactly know.
That's how the world works.
Yeah. And he doesn't exactly, especially now where he's like, well, I've died, and in a moment, my life ended. And I didn't even get the death that I really wanted in a sense. Like, I didn't even get to I didn't even get what I wanted in the end anyway. And now I'm back here. And now I'm essentially lost. Because, I mean, where do you go after you die, Like,
Well, I think it's your sword space. And then
For us,
you
yeah,
stay
but,
there
like-
for 3 days and then you come back.
for a guy who's encountered
At the
it
minimum.
and then he talks about like death being our teacher and we have to be like okay spreading the word and all that, we're like advocates of a sort
Yeah.
about death. And this
I don't
man,
think we advocate
we don't
death.
we don't advocate it, but we're like we kind of
We allow it to be our teachers.
yeah. And I
It
think
teaches us. We don't let death teach other people.
and I think that's at this point I think
Well, and
that's
think about it. You also like delve through dungeons and kill monsters and stuff.
We
So
do.
You let the death of other things inform you too.
Mm-hmm.
It
and I
also
think,
helps your sword spaces grow too.
yeah. And
Which is another form of death being your teacher.
I think at this point in Oberyn's life, now that he's
That makes sense.
kick the bucket. And I think when he was in that place for 3 days, he obviously does what he usually does, and meditated, which, that's just Oberyn meditating. They just go hand in hand with each other. But
It's true.
it was also
A lot of self-reflection.
a lot of self-reflection for him because it's like, yeah, I've died. And what has my life been since, I've been wandering all over the fucking place with no real purpose other than something.
Well, what do you guys want to do next? Like, what are you thinking is gonna happen this next session?
I
or
have
the
no
session
I have
after?
no fucking clue. That's the thing, because this funeral is gonna be big. I mean, it's the funeral of
Well-
a royal.
I can tell you for one damn sure thing. I'm going to attune to that fucking necklace.
Are
Yeah.
you?
I'm going to fucking try to.
I think the only thing that I'm super.
Do you not
duper-
want me to attune to that?
No, of course I do.
Oh.
It's just you've been having a little bit of issue. with
Everyone
that.
has
Okay.
had zero luck getting their goddamn aspect rolls, which is so stupid.
Oh, that's been real unfortunate.
Because
too.
Arthur could have
That's
had
the
it when he was
worst
fighting the
thing
tyrant. I
ever,
wanted to
yeah.
see what his aspect was when he was fighting the Tyrant's Bane, because I think it would be really fucking cool. And then I think yours would be cool too, because your eyes start to go a deeper blue and stuff, and you were really into it, and then it just nope.
Well, that's just me RPing.
But
When the first time I tried attuning to the necklace.
but that's the thing I liked though. The
Yeah.
fact that we failed is kind of is interesting, because think of a show where people have these kinds of powers and they do it for the first time and they don't know how to exactly use it again, and they're something just triggered and oh shit.
Welcome to Sorcerer.
Welcome.
How can we help you?
You unlock that power, but obviously you're not a master of it right off the jump,
Mm-hmm.
Having that failure shows so something happened to me when I was in this moment.
Yep.
I don't know what, but it was there. And then the next time you do it, hopefully it works.
I'm
That's-
excited for when it does trigger. Hopefully, it's more of a climactic. I'm not looking.
You hope
for
it's
that.
fucking epic. You're
Yeah.
saying the music's
I mean,
swelling.
I'm all about the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not saying attuning to the necklace isn't a big moment, because for my character, it is
It's pretty
It
big
is-
for his. Yeah.
it is a very important step in a very long process of steps.
Yeah.
But it's along the list that it wasn't supposed to happen for a while.
Mhm. but it's now happening.
Now it's
our
a lot sooner than planned.
our
and it's great.
campaign kind of just revolves around things happening sooner than we expect them to sometimes, and that's just, we gotta roll with the punches. That's all it is. But where we're going in terms of a direction, I have no idea. Because like this funeral is gonna do something to somebody.
I'm very excited to go back and talk to the
Dominus. Jinx. You owe me a Coke now. I got you.
I'm from a player's perspective, I'm excited to flex.
You're gonna flex on your dad?
Dude, yeah.
Look at this! And you
yeah,
show your dragon scales.
I walked out with a sword.
Maybe. And you come back with yeah.
A lot more than just 2 swords.
Yeah. Are you gonna fight your dad?
That'd be really badass.
It would be really cool, but I'm guessing a KO real quick, bro. The Dominus is the Dominus. I mean,
it would not be in the arena.
Oh, I feel like your dad would be like, "Oh hell yeah, we're doing this in the fucking Crucible." I want people to watch. I want people to see me beat you, my disgrace of a son, in front of everyone in town. That's what I feel like.
The Capitol has its own.
Yeah.
Crucible.
Arena, yeah.
Oh, it does.
The Crucible is just like
the public arena.
No, it's the Magic.
Oh yeah.
Initiate. Okay. So you know how? Okay, what's the best stadium in the U.S. for football? Like unchallenged. Just it's got the most spectacle to it.
Gillette Stadium.
Nope.
No, it's definitely not Gillette Stadium.
Nope.
Soldier Field.
Nope. It's got history. It's not a spectacle.
Right.
No,
And history is the one of the Capitol. Right.
So that's a Lambeau. That's a Soldier.
Right.
So you're saying Lambeau's the spectacle one?
I would say the one in Riv. Starts with an R.
Racek.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know the names.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No taker.
Come on. You're an elf boy. You should know elf places. Maybe.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But the one in Racek, I imagine, would be like the Superdome down in Louisiana.
Yep.
Or
a lot of spectacle. But
yeah, I mean, like color of the lights change based on who pays enough money, and then you can also cast spells into the arena.
It's a lot of flash.
Yeah.
It's like
it's about the show.
Yeah.
Whereas the one in the Capitol is more like
there's a lot of history.
Fighting.
Yeah, there's some unadulterated violence.
So like essentially the Crucible is like a Super Bowl event where there's a lot of shit.
Everybody,
going on. Everyone's
see how many
there.
people were showing up?
A lot of celebrities coming over, and then like,
Sir Alistair was there. I mean,
you want an all out?
That dude's kind of hard to find.
You want an all out like fight? You no spectacle, no audience. It's just.
Yeah, you want the Roman Colosseum? Yeah, you come to the Capitol.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna happen. I feel like out of it, because of how Zion is, he sees his dad, and he'll be like, I'm back. You know, I've returned, and it'll be like the mocking the prodigal son has returned kind of in a sense where you're like have you guys ever seen Black Panther? Have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
Yes. You know, when Eric Killmonger comes back to Wakanda and he's like acting like that's mine, or like I reclaim this in my name and kind of stuff like that. Essentially, he's like that, and you're like, I'm gonna challenge you, not for the right to be Dominus, but I just want to beat you to prove to you that I've grown. And then I think the Dominus would just be like, yeah, sure, and then beat his ass, and then I'm just gonna sit there and not laugh because obviously this sucks. But I'd feel
everyone else will laugh.
Everyone else
I
would
love
probably.
How I introduced him. He was like, "Oh, this is like the Fire Lord," and I'm just like,
I mean, you have the music playing. You have the music playing in the background of the final act.
He doesn't hate like his son or anything, but like he's a very like domineering. Hence the title I gave him.
Fire Lord Ozai doesn't like hate his Zuko. He's just very.
He does. He does.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
He's like, you're not Azula. You can't shoot lightning, and you don't have cool blue fire. You have stupid red fire, and you look stupid with your dumb ponytail.
Can we talk about the fact that all of the like progeny, like the best like benders are all women?
True though.
Toph,
Katara,
Azula, Korra.
No.
Kyoshi. I'd say Kyoshi because I mean I know she was the Avatar, but like usually
All the best benders are chicks, man.
that's very true. They got that grace
We're
about it.
forgetting the most important one though.
Sokka.
Sokka.
Sokka, best bender.
Actually, I was gonna say
By far. Who else can wield a boomerang like he can?
he's
no,
he's the boomerang bender.
no one.
No one else can
Not
do
even
that.
Toph.
Boomer bender.
The boomer bender.
Boomer bender.
bender.
The boomer bender.
No one else can pull Suki,
Watch
okay?
him pull out a
That's
laptop
true.
and get on
He
Facebook.
pulled UA and he pulled Suki.
Yeah. Two,
Who else could do that?
no one.
Not a damn soul.
I think with that, we just about got super sidetracked. I think that's where we should end our episode for
Yes.
Yeah.
today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next 50-50 Take It or Leave It.